Oh man. Uh yeah, we're back. I tried to do some good old uh what do I call it? Do some good old reinvention, Just trying to figure out how I would like to do things myself. So, let's start with this. As you can tell, well, hopefully you can tell there's a difference in quality for the camera. I got a new camera. We're still rocking the same mics. I'm sorry, this is not going to change anytime soon until my setup changes. I would need a new PC for that. But I digress. Or is that the right way to use digress? Not the point. We're going to move on. We're going to address the elephant in the room. I would like to formally apologize for everyone who came to me for Jujutsu Kaisen. I failed y'all. I failed y'all. I did not know that me glazing it to such a degree would end up like. Let me take the glasses off. Let me focus. I did not know that the series was going that direction. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I did not know at all. I didn't even know that Gege was going to take it there. I didn't know he was gonna write it off like that. I was not prepared for how it ended, but I was such a stand for it. And for those of you who don't know, in real life, not on the web, but in real life, I used to tell my friends all the time to get Jujutsu Kaisen, to keep up with it, to stay updated. And I was going 10 for 10. Everyone I put on, they was reading it, they loved it, over and over, whatever the case may be. Everyone was reading it, everyone was enjoying it. And then the elephant in the room got ginormous overnight. Overnight. So this is not like a formal apology, but this is more like a these are my final thoughts on JJK. And this will be my final video about JJK until further notice, unless I think about different characters that I want to speak about. Until then, until we cross that bridge, these are my final thoughts on this series as a whole. JJK will hold a place dear in my heart for as long as it aired and for as long as the manga was running, because before the dookie hit the fan, it was good. The parallels, the backstory, the world building, the arcs, the fight choreography, the character development, the power system, the abilities, all of that was amazing up until that point. And it is unfortunate that a series that I had in such high regard, had held in such high regard, would meet the not even the axe, but just, well, I guess he did meet the axe nonetheless, but would meet the axe in such a way so that we can't see the ending for the grand piece of work that Gege had in mind. I don't know if he gave up or he was just like, I only have this many chapters, so I'll just do all this. But I feel that there's a way we could have gone about it. It felt like everything was so rushed, between the merger, between Sukuna and the final stretch, between Nobara coming back, like all these people still being alive. And it's not to say those are bad elements alone. It's just, it wasn't believable. The biggest thing that comes down to Jujutsu Kaisen is its ability to be believable. And in my opinion, it lost that. There were so many good pieces of Jujutsu Kaisen that I'm always going to be happy about, and I'm going to continue to get all the volumes. Like, I have volume 1 through 23. Like, I have every single volume, and I'm going to get all of the volumes. Like, that's not going to change because that is the series that I still love, even though the ending wasn't my favorite. Now, with that being said, the fact of the matter is that this is not my story. It's not our story, folks. This is Gege Akutami's story, and how he ends it is how it's going to end. And so I can't argue there. But what I can do is talk about how the story, in my opinion, could have been better. It could have been a lot smoother. The parallels between, even the fact we even get Yuji and Kenjaku interactions more than what we had. Those parallels, Gojo and Kenjaku parallels. Even with the fact that Geto was fighting back in his body, like there's just pieces, so many pieces of character development, so many pieces of plot, so many pieces of moving the needle forward when it comes to storytelling and the characters involved. And even Sukuna and Gojo, there's some inconsistencies there. And a lot of people have released video on top of video on top of video on top of video about why the outcome is the way it is. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't believable. It did not look like something that was believable. And as a person who stood on business for this series, I gotta take the fall for that, you know? I remember one of my friends called me the other day and they were like, yeah, you put me onto this series, you're gonna pay for it. All right. You know, it is what it is. But nonetheless, for those who have not watched JJ, ooh, I should have put a spoiler alert. It's a little too late. But if you so happen, if you have not watched JJK yet, or at least you haven't finished yet, I ask that you, if you've gotten past this far, I mean, it'll defeat the purpose for me saying it, but I'll say it anyway. I ask that you continue to follow the series all the way through because my perspective is not fact. My perspective is simply that it's a perspective, it's an opinion. It's how I felt about the story. It's how I think the ending was. It's how I think the story has gone so far. It's just that it's an opinion. So for those who have watched, and I'm sorry if I've spoiled, try to skip ahead. Maybe I should put that in the description to skip ahead. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But watch it for what you want it to be. Don't watch it for what you see everyone else posting videos about. Separate yourself from the parasocial expectations and just enjoy it for what it is for you. And that's all I can say at this point about JJK because although it did drop the ball, still I would want people to revisit or start anew. If they want to start a new manga, I still think JJK is still a valuable thing to start. It's just, again, what it is for me is not going to be the same for everybody else. So just keep that in mind with any manga for that matter. So now there are some things that are facts. Let me also say that I'm not gonna be ignorant. There are some things that are facts, 1,000%. But whether you like a series or not, it's not a fact. It's all based on opinion. But with that being said, this is TVG signing off. I got more videos coming in literally in the same span. You're gonna see this shirt and this do-rag combo a lot. Anyway, y'all be easy. Peace.